about Google Cloud today, and I'll put in a hint of AWS as well, and how we can use Python to optimize our deployments and architecture. All right, so with the Google Cloud Compute solutions, there are various solutions, as you can see here. Yeah, so we have the virtual machines, and then the containers, and also serverless computing. So with the virtual machines, a virtual machine, who knows what a virtual machine is? I don't want to be talking alone. Yes. Anyone objecting? A computer running on another computer. I like how people are making it very simple. Yeah? So you have but really, someone should object and give us a better, a better description. It's simple. What is it? Okay, you're having capabilities of another machine on your device. Exactly what you're saying. A computer running on your very computer. But that computer is virtual. We all know what virtual means, right? So we have different ways of having these computers on our machine, these computers in our computer, using Compute Engine on the GCP platform, VMware, and bare metal. Now, this is for specialized workloads. For example, if you have your Oracle workload and you just want to move it to the cloud, you can use bare metal. Compute Engine, you're creating a VM, a virtual machine, and you can create it with whichever specs that you want to create it with. You may have just 2 cores, but you want to run a heavy machine, and you crash it. Okay, and then we'll go to the containers. We have the GKE, yeah, which will help us run our containers on the cloud. And then the serverless computing. Here what we mean is we are not going to look into the architecture. So here we're looking at the architecture. We are seeing how many cores we want for our device, what are the specs that you want, how do you want it to process the data according to what you want to do, yeah? But with this, with Cloud Run, you're just going to be deploying your applications right away from the cloud. Cloud functions, we're going to look at them, and also app engines. Please move. So this is basically the way GCP is going to run your application, or whatever you put, whatever you're trying to deploy, yeah? Please, you're talking. You're welcome, and we talk together. Yeah. Okay, I would just like us to be very attentive, yeah? Because I'll ask you questions. So you're going to push your code or your application that you have built. You can have various source repositories. You can connect it to your GitHub repository as well. And then you run it through Cloud Build, and then Container Registry and Cloud Run. And then the users can now hit the endpoint that Cloud Run gives you and then access your application, yeah? I think that's what you've done. You said that you've been deploying some applications. So now we are in the gist of what we want to talk about today, yeah? Serverless, and how Python is going to help us improve our deployments, yeah? So with serverless, I've talked about it before, but we have different models of deploying serverless, yeah? So we have the operational model. And the operational model, we are talking about we don't have any infrastructure management. We have our managed security, and we are paying for only what we are using. And we've seen that with the cloud functions and other different services that do not require us to have any specs for the application, for the code that we are deploying, yeah? So there is no infrastructure management. Your security is managed by IAM. IAM is infrastructure and identity and access management, and then you're only paying for what you use. So what that means is if your application, for example, if you have an e-commerce application, and this weekend, yeah, you're getting 1,000 clients per day, yeah? The application is going to scale automatically. And then on a day where you have 0, you're broke, eh? It is going to go back down. So you're not going to be charged, and you don't have to manually tune it, yeah? And then the programming model is where it is service-based, event-driven, and stateless. So we have overlapping services that overlap both the operational and programming model. So service-based, event-driven, event means that if this happens, then run my script. if A doesn't happen, then don't do this, yeah? That is the event-driven. And stateless, still for the functions. You don't have any data inside the cloud, yeah? You're just running functions. That is what I mean by stateless. So that is the programming model. You're programming your functions, and then you're running your application. Please continue. Okay, so we're going to look at the programming model using AWS Lambda and GCP Cloud Functions and Azure Functions, yeah? So we're going to look at the GCP functions. I'll just do a simple lab of how it works so that you can see how it works. You can follow through if you want. How many people want to follow through? Do I have enough time for you to follow? Maybe you're bragging. Okay. Do you want to follow? You can get your laps. People haven't tried this, so I want us to follow through. Now, this is the dashboard. So just go to your console, console.cloud.google.com. You can log in with your details or your Google identity, and then we begin. So this just shows me the dashboard of my project. So Google Cloud will work in form of projects. Yeah, you create a project and you run whatever you want to run within that project. Yeah. So please create a project in the next 1 minute. So as they create the project, I'll show you just an overview of how it looks like. So these are the products and services that Google Cloud has, and they all have different things. So Kubernetes Engine is for the containers, APIs and services, exactly what it is saying. Billing, when you're connecting your accounts. IAM is identity, and then the marketplace, compute engine, that is for the virtual machines, the computer inside the computer. And then cloud storage, you can have different methods of how you're storing your data on the cloud. BigQuery, that is when you're doing your machine learning or you are processing large workloads of data. You can process them inside here, and you can use your Python code. You can use SQL. You can have visualization inside BigQuery. VPC network, you are managing the network of the people accessing your application or the people accessing your project, yeah? So you can have subnets, you can manage your IPs from there and all of that. Cloud Run, we have seen it already, and all of that. So are we there? I was buying us time. Okay, you've created a project? It'll be very simple. Or do you prefer if I do it and then you'll do it later? That's okay, okay, nice. Okay, so I lost track of where we are. We are looking at the functions, okay? So, okay, I think I should continue with the rest as the internet comes back on. So with the cloud functions, what it helps us with, we can write any function instead of having a full-blown application or a full-blown infrastructure management. We just write a very small line of code, and it returns to us what we want it to return, yeah? So you can write your Python on the Google Cloud. You can write anything, and it will return to you anything that you want it to return, okay? And then you can connect it to your application to do what you want it to do, to just add a small addition of functionality to your application, yeah? So you may not have to work around the whole code in general. Just add a cloud function and then connect it to your application, and then you're able to continue. Okay. Then there are other triggers, yeah, where you can use the cloud functions, as I've said, in cloud storage. So cloud storage, how it works as a place to store your data, yeah? So you're storing data that the application is going to use. You're storing data that is coming in. You can have data from your IoT devices that is coming in, and then you're using the cloud functions to query it. Then you can use PubSub. PubSub works as a asynchronous it has asynchronous communication still for the data that is streaming in from your IoT devices, and then you can always query it with the cloud functions and all of these. Okay. So we are here, Google Cloud Workflows. These workflows are a fully managed orchestration platform that executes services in the order that you define, yeah? So think about an application that you have and think about the order that you want it to execute the various services. So with Google Cloud, you have different services that are doing different things, yeah? And then with workflows, it is going to help you connect all of these things to work together and then execute your data in the order that you have stipulated. Okay? All right. So how it works together with the serverless compute. So you can connect it to various services on the cloud. Yeah, so you can connect it to the Cloud Run, to App Engine, to Cloud Functions, and you're connecting it to your workflows. Yeah, you can also connect Google's APIs and also external APIs, as we are going to see, if the internet allows. Okay. So how does it work? Yeah, we are looking at an example. For example, you have your data and you want to tag it. Yeah, you have your data. It can be in form of videos, audios, text, and etc. And you want to have tags on the various files that you have, and you have multiple files. I don't think we would want to go into our cloud storage and now begin tagging. Okay, this one is a voice message. It was saying ABCDE. Yeah. So we are going to use the workflows to see how that is done. So we're going to load our file from wherever it is into cloud storage, yeah? And then we are going to create a trigger by using cloud functions, and then that trigger is going to go into the cloud workflows, yeah? We're going to see this happen physically. So in the cloud workflows, the good thing with the workflows, you write your code while it shows you exactly what you are doing. So it will show you how the workflow is going to happen, yeah? So it will show you where you're going to start, then the file name extension, it is going to extract whichever extension it is, and send it to the particular service that you want it to send it to. So now we are connecting it to the Google API, which is for natural language processing. Yeah, so we are saying if it is a text file, let it go to the Google Natural Language API, yeah? And then we're going to extract the files that are there. If it is a JPG, if it's an image, we are going to send it to the Cloud Vision API. And then if it is a video, we are still going to send that to the Cloud Video Intelligence API, yeah? So you're seeing how the different APIs are going to interact within this same workflow. Instead of having them work separately, you're working together in the same environment, and then you're having a result that is as one, yeah? Okay, so if it is a video, so this is the workflow that we are creating basically. And then we're going to save the tags to the Firestore. So our Firestore is basically our database, and then we are going to end the workflow. So that is, I have another example for us. For service orchestration. So we're going to see how service orchestration works. This is just a type of architecture, yeah? When you're building your cloud workflows, it is a type of architecture. And with this architecture, you're using the workflows, yeah? Basically, you're streamlining how you're working. I think, let me show you an example. So we have different architectures. We have choreography architecture and the orchestration architecture. So with the orchestration architecture, we're having an orchestrator, which is the workflow, which is helping us streamline our data and our processes, yeah? With the choreography, we're not having any orchestrator. So think about it as an organization. You're having different departments, and you're having Excel files, yeah? So the Excel file is the same, but the different departments are going to be making the changes from wherever they are. And then after that, on the weekend, you come and amalgamate all your changes. You're like, oh, okay, we made 20 sales, and then finance gave out this and that. That is now the choreography workflow. However, the orchestration workflow, all the changes that you're making are being made into the same document, and at the end of the day, even in one day, you have the same document, yeah? You're doing all your work in one place. So that is the kind of architecture that I'm talking about. With the service orchestration, you have different services, yeah? They are not connected, and then they connect in form of events. For example, if one service needs to talk to another service, maybe your your Firestore you need to talk to the database at point A. Client is querying the database. That is the trigger that is going to query that database. However, with the orchestration, you have an orchestrator at the middle ground that is going to query the database at the same time. Yeah. So here you're seeing service A and the events, and then the services with the orchestration, which have an orchestrator in the middle, and all the workflows are together. Yeah. So let's go back. Another use case. So this use case, you're having read and lock inventory. You're querying the database, your inventory database, and then you're asking, do we have? So this is an online store. Do we have stock in the store? Yes. If it is yes, prepare the confirmation order. If it is no, then also prepare a confirmation order and then go to the supplier's API. So when you send it to the supplier's API, it is going to tell the supplier that, okay, we are out of stock. Please give us more stock. So you're having everything in the same workflow that is talking to all the APIs that you want to talk to, instead of separating the workflows and having more work, yeah? So after that, the orders, if you have stock in the inventory, you're going to send it, and you're going to update inventory and order, and then you notify the client. And then on all of these steps, you're having the external APIs or the Google APIs that are being talked to, and the information is being updated in real time, yeah, as you can see, instead of having the separate APIs and then after that update the information after the fact, yeah. Okay, so the characteristics of this workflow API, it enables reliable execution of steps, yeah? So these steps are stipulated in our workflow. So there is a reliable execution of the steps. So if you have step 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to execute it in that order. And if there is any failure points, you're going to be able to see it easily. Unlike with the other architecture, where a service can fail and you have to look at the whole architecture to see what actually failed. With this kind of organization, with the workflows, you're able to look at which service failed at which point, which enables you to easily recover from failures. So you have efficient handover of work, as you have seen. You have the steps are detailed and they are explicit. So you know that service A, after service A has completed its work, it is handing over the result to service B, and then service B will do whatever you want it to do, and it hands over its work to service C. So there is an efficient handover of work. And then there is decision execution. As we have seen, we have some applications where a decision has to be made, yeah, and it's not supposed to follow the stipulated workflow. So your workflow is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but there is a decision that should be made for the logic to come from 1 to 5 directly, yeah. This will enable. This is enabled in this workflow, yeah. And then you have integrations with other APIs and other authentication models, as we will see, and then execution management and logging. Okay. This is a continuation. We have automation of the processes, scaling up and down, as I explained. You have built-in security features with IAM and the secrets manager, and no cold starts for latency environments. So I've talked a lot. I would want us to think about a workflow for any of those examples, and someone can tell us what they think the workflow should be. I have an assignment at the end. So, have I talked a lot? Have I talked too fast? I had someone say the English, or what? What? Okay, yeah, I want to pick on people. Just think about that use case, any use case that you think, and then give us a workflow that's just the order of steps that you think should happen. DevOps is very easy, right? It is very easy. I'm saying for smiling. I want to pick on you. Should I? Just a workflow. Someone had their hand up. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You can tell us what the store does, and then, yes, because that will help us understand exactly what you mean. For example, I can say if I'm coming into PyCon, I will take the stairs, then I'll go to the left, then I'll, open the door, come in, sit. That is the workflow that I'm asking for you guys. It's not very complicated. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you're getting to know the name of your of each invoice of the customers. Of the customers, I would think of the customers. So you're using Firestore, right? Which is your database to keep all of that data. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, think of it in this way. I'm coming into, you make it very complicated. Forgetting. Yes. Think about you're coming into a building. Yeah, you're coming for PyCon. Yeah, you're going to get off your border. That is step 1. Yeah, you're going to walk down to the building. That is step 2. You're going to climb the stairs. Something very simple like that. Not the layout. Someone else? You're seconding someone. Okay, let me give her a chance. Okay. Uh-huh. Nice. Okay. 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 So what I'm getting from your workflow is, number 1, you have the names of all your students. Then you're going to check in your database who hasn't paid. Who didn't pay? And then after checking, the ones who haven't paid, you're going to send them a particular message. Basically, that is the workflow, isn't it? Someone else wants to try? Yeah? Okay. Do you want to use my mic?
Okay, for me, I'm going to I'm going to try the e-commerce invoice generator. Like you talked about, now you want to generate an invoice. That means you need to know what is going to go in the invoice. So that means if someone is maybe purchasing something, have to get information about it. Maybe collect the invoice details from a database. And then after collecting the details, you arrange them in a way that is presentable to whoever is going to receive this. So after arranging them, like maybe, let me say, like it will appear on printed form, or it's going to appear on their web, on the front page of maybe their dashboard, then you hand it over to them, like maybe by sending an email or something like that.
I like those examples. Guys, give them a round of applause. People this side, I'm coming for you next. So I like how they did their workflows, yeah? But think about it in a large form. You have 10,000 customers that you have to see. Who paid? Who do I send an invoice to? So you're going to use your workflows, yeah? Just as both of them have said, you're going to have your database that has your information, and then you're going to query that database and give it a logic. You're saying, okay, if they have paid 50%, or if they have paid 50K, then do ABCD. Or if they haven't, then do ABCD. You're seeing the workflow, yeah? And then after that, you're sending them an email or you're sending them a message, and according to that response, you're again, so our database keeps changing, the data in the database, and also in all the other connected APIs, yeah? Keeps changing. All right, with the automation workflow for virtual machines, some of us just, we have our own workflow of coming to the virtual machine and you run it when your client needs something on it, and then when you're done, you put it off. yeah, manually. You can automate it with workflows. You tell it, okay, at this particular point in time, come on, and it will come on. Or I want you on for 10 minutes every day at this particular point in time, and it will come on. Your customers will get whatever service they want, and they will get off. Okay, I've already talked about this. Now, I want to talk, I want us to see this in action, okay? Okay, if you want to follow through, or any time that you want to follow through, I've provided a link which has the trial that we are going to run. You can follow through any time that you are free or at your convenience, yeah? Where do I, how do I show it to you? This is the link. I don't know if you can be able to see it. You guys can see it, right? Okay, you guys can follow through anytime. That is the link of the trial that we're going to look at and the workflow that we're going to do. Okay. Okay. This is the demo that you will see. I'm told to wrap up. For some reason, the internet has really refused. But when you get here, you'll see it's a demo for service chaining. You're going to do some service chaining. So you're going to call a cloud function, and this cloud function is going to generate a random number. And then you're going to connect that cloud function to another cloud function. Yeah. So you're seeing how we are chaining this in the workflows. And then you're going to connect it to another cloud function that is going to multiply that random number. And then you're going to connect it to an external function, as we have seen that these workflows can also connect to an external function. So you're going to connect it to an external function, and then you're going to again connect it to another cloud function, which is for flooring. So flooring means you're going to, if you have 4.2, you're going to have 4, yeah? And then after that, you're going to be able to run your workflow. And after you run your workflow, you're going to get the results in the end. You've come to help me? I thought you'd come to help me. All right. I think when you follow that link, you'll be able to do that exercise. Yeah, I'd love us to do that exercise. I'll also provide another link, yeah, where we can be able to do another exercise. So bad, so bad. Okay, I wanted us to also do, I'm going to provide a link where we can work on this natural language problem, the file extensions, and then we use the natural language processing, image recognition, and video recognition using the workflows. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you very much. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if you have any questions. Do you want? No time for questions. All right. Thank you so much, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Peace, for sharing with us.